What's good, everybody? Peace and blessings. Welcome to Speaking with Ajani Bakari Talk Show. I'm your host, Ajani Bakari. We come back to you live again, another Monday night episode. As we always come with great topics and great discussions. Tonight's discussions, we're going to discuss guns in Haiti. We're going to also discuss the Georgia Guidestones being demolished. And then we're going to discuss are the Democrats at it again? In fact, the Democrats are at it again. These are topics that I wanted to bring up this week. We're going to talk about guns being, in Haiti because they were just found some, the customs in Haiti found some ammunition, and we're going to discuss that. And then we're going to also discuss the Guidestones. If anybody knows about the Georgia Guidestones, very infamous, controversial, quote unquote, what they call that conspiracy theory internet topic about the Georgia Guidestones. And then we're going to talk about, are the Democrats at it again, because the media seems to be showing us some things that would say that the Democrats are at it again. They must be losing some elections. So thank you for joining me this Monday evening. Hopefully you're home blessed, chilling at your house like usual, or at work, or wherever you at, and you get a chance to enjoy the show. You can also jump into the topics on my Facebook or in my IG accounts, which will be going live on there shortly. But also, YouTube is the best place to catch the show. So thank you for joining me and subscribing to my channel as I try to bring the best talk show and topics available on the internet for everybody out there who loves to get on YouTube and just listen to good discussions and a great information that I like to bring out for everybody. So we'll get to those topics very shortly. We took a break last week because it was the holiday, and the topics that I wanted to bring up last week I just didn't feel was worthy enough of bothering folks for the people who do celebrate the Independence Day of America, which I don't. So it wasn't to observe the holiday. It's just I didn't want to bother y'all with the topics. But we could bring up the topics now because I like to have an exclusive topic on my YouTube for my YouTube followers and on my YouTube channel before the show actually kicks off at 7:25 and 7:30. We're going to talk about, because what I wanted to talk about was the R. Kelly sentencing, which he got 30 years, and also Jeffrey Epstein's madam. I don't know her first name, Ghislaine Maxine. She got 20 years for her involvement in the Jeffrey Epstein sexual assault and sex trafficking crimes and case. So I wanted to bring up those topics last week. So I felt like, people are enjoying their 4th of July. It's not really a major topic to bring up, but we will definitely talk about that here. But let me get onto my YouTube. Send out notifications that everybody knows that I'm getting on and going live, and then we can get to that topic. Excuse me here. So as I said again, we do go live on my IG, which I know is speaking underscore with Ajani underscore Bakari on IG, and then you can catch me on my Facebook account, which is Ajani Bakari. You can catch the show there live, and you can also like I said, follow me there. Like all the content that I put on there. I have all the show material that goes on those platforms. So again, thank you for joining me like we always do every Monday night as we bring up some good topics. So, let's get right into it because I wanted to discuss, the R. Kelly situation. I know a lot of people were upset about him getting 30 years. You could have gave him more. The man enjoyed 30 years of truly abusing a lot of people with his star and his star power and his fame. And, I don't have no remorse for R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. He deserves what he gets. Sit in jail for that. For that. He deserves worse. But, a lot of people were upset because he got 30 years and the lady who was working with Jeffrey Epstein only got 20 years. But she cooperated with the law enforcement. So she actually gave out names. She cooperated. She pleaded guilty. She was, she didn't do what R. Kelly did. R. Kelly tried to fight the case. Everybody know when you fight the case, you lose. you get, a larger, a harsher sentence. So, it doesn't excuse what she did. It doesn't make a difference. A lot of people wanted to bring that up, but she did tell them who were the people that were involved in all of this. And that's where, I want to get into the conversation because, with R. Kelly was Jeffrey Epstein. So, Epstein supposedly killed himself in jail, committed suicide. So he's dead and gone. R. Kelly's in jail, but this lady's in jail for helping Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, so where are the people that actually helped R. Kelly? Because R. Kelly wasn't rounding up women and little girls by himself. He was doing this with the help of someone. And there was probably several people helping R. Kelly do what he did, but they're not being put on trial, or we at least I don't know if any. If anybody knows, you can let me know. But she was one of the people that were helping Jeffrey Epstein round up little girls and round up women for his little, parties. If anybody doesn't know, Jeffrey Epstein was a rich billionaire who used to have these lavish parties in West Palm Beach. He had a mansion there, and he also had a private island in the Bahamas or in the Caribbean. And he used to have parties there, and they used to fly people in. Now, mind you, this is, there's records of all of this because people actually, even if it's a private plane, there's still catalogs of how many people are showing up to these parties. And they had lists of names, very prominent people names that the judge of her case decided to seal. They are not allowing those names to be revealed to the public. And a lot of people are saying, well, why not? Why can't we know who are these people that were with Jeffrey Epstein, who were with him and with this lady, and who were a part of, this whole sex trafficking thing? It's a real thing. There are women that are sent across the country, across state lines, which is what sex trafficking is, for sexual work and for sexual purposes. That's the actual definition of it. So, all these people that are on these lists, who are they? Why are they being protected is what most people are saying. And obviously, conspiracy theories are going to run with this. And because, it's a big thing because Jeffrey Epstein is a billionaire, and billionaires don't just hang out with nobody. They hang out with other billionaires. They hang out with other prominent, influential, very powerful people. So, there's a list of people on there that we want to know. I want to know where these people are, who these people are. And she cooperated for that reason, for you guys to know who these people are. But I guess, in the famous words of The Wire, when you start following the money, that's when it becomes a problem, because it actually leaves the actual street level drug dealer and gets to the politicians and the businessmen and who help fund all the stuff that you see that goes on, because it takes capital. No matter if you want to see organized crime or if you want to see normal politics being played, it takes capital for anything to get done. And when you're a billionaire, you can do a lot. And these billionaires were eating off of this. It's sad because I watched some of the documentary on Jeffrey Epstein and the type of stuff that they were doing. They were rounding up girls from the low end of society and bringing them into mansions and hanging around wealthy white men and paying them $200-300 a day, supposedly just to be massaged or masseuses. But why are you getting, little girls to massage you? So these people knew what they were getting into when they were showing up to these parties. And that's another thing too. It's not like the people who are on this list were people who were oblivious to what was going on. These are private parties. You are invited there for a reason. You are you have been well versed on what's going on. They've been telling you what's going on. So it's not like these people are just like, oh, I'm gonna get to this party and realize, oh wow, there's a lot of children and boys here, huh? Weird. Nah, that's what goes on, man. And and this is a story that goes on in the entertainment world, from Hollywood, from the music industry, from everything. This is what these lavish rich people parties be about, man. They do a lot of weird things, and sex trafficking is a part of it. So that's what I wanted to talk about last week. And like I said, it wasn't going to be a great topic for those who trying to enjoy their day. And I'm trying to make a good show, good content show for you folks. So that's that's what it is. But as far as R. Kelly goes, man, I it's hard to listen to his music. I know some folks say it's they argued about that. I really just can't listen to his music knowing the type of energy and spirit he was in and creating it. So I definitely couldn't take that. So you know what I mean? Let's see what's good here. Rose, what's poppin'? They don't want to release the names because it's a bunch of politicians and business owners. Exactly. It's a bunch of politicians and prominent people. It's some very influential people, probably some, big names, some big, maybe even presidents, because Jeffrey Epstein has been known to hang around, Donald Trump, the Clintons, Obama, these people, when you're a billionaire, you got all this money, you give away a lot of charity money so that it helps for your taxes because you generate so much money as an income. So a lot of these guys are funders and big contributors to politicians' campaigns and their foundations and different things of that nature. So yeah, these people are definitely on those lists. Definitely. Yep, this is what they do. Rose said it best. This is what they do. So let's get live on the Facebook. And then let's get live on the IG. So we officially live on my Facebook, and we're connecting on my IG right now. All right, there we go. So now we're officially on IG. So again, this is Speaking with Ajani Bakari Talk Show. I'm your host, Ajani Bakari. Thank you for joining me as we come together, every Monday night to discuss 3 hot topics. If you just got a chance to, follow me on any other platform, like I said, I'm on IG as speaking _with Ajani Bakari, and I'm also on Facebook as Ajani Bakari, and I go live every Monday. As we talk, 3 hot topics. So let me fix up my IG here. Let me fix this up right quick. Let's see if I can fix this situation. What's going on with this stand? It doesn't want to stay up. I got a new stand for my IG, but it's not working right. But let's see if we can get going. So again, thank you again for joining me, folks. I appreciate it. As we're gonna get to the topics tonight, the first topic is going to be guns in Haiti. We're going to talk about that because there was a recent siege of ammunitions in a Haitian port recently, and I want to discuss that. And then we're going to discuss the Georgia Guidestones being demolished because it was vandalized and destroyed. And then I also want to go ahead and discuss are the Democrats at it again? Because the way the media has been, showing stuff on the, all the hot major topic news seems to be, down the Democrats' alley for when they want to be elected and when they're slipping in the polls when it comes to politics and re-elections and approval ratings. So we'll get right to the topic as we let a couple of folks get in on my IG and Facebook. Let me see what I can do here about my IG stand, because it seems to not work right for me. Let me see what I can do here. Show going. Oh my God. As y'all can see, this shit don't never be easy. And it ain't working right for me. It is not working right for me. Let me just see that. Maybe I got it now. All right, so boom, there we go. All right, sorry about that, folks. So as we get going, peace was good, Cisco. All right, so let's get the show going here. All right, so all right, so the first topic we're gonna go ahead and discuss is guns in Haiti. So what happened is recently, about a week ago, the Haitian Customs has seized over 120,000 rounds of ammunition from a cargo ship coming into Haiti from Florida. And this is like one of the biggest seize of weapons and ammunitions in Haitian history. And what's the big thing about that is that just the other day, about a week ago, about a week prior to that actually happening, the actual customs head of customs in Haiti actually resigned because he was actually under investigation by the Haitian corrupt agency for actually gun trafficking. So, the Haitian government is obviously going through a transition phase. We all know Haitian government has been, going through a lot throughout the years. They just lost, we just lost the president in Haiti. Last year in July, he was assassinated. So they're trying to make a transition. They're trying to do some things. There's a lot of corruption going on. I mean, even the idea that, a bunch of mercenaries could enter another country and assassinate a president has still not been proven to be understood to how that happened, what happened, what's going on. So Haiti has always been in the news when it comes to this type of stuff because Haiti has always been under attack because of Haiti's history and because of Haiti's spirit. The Haitian people's spirit will always be attacked. So, when we're talking about, Haitians getting guns and getting weapons in Haiti, how is that even possible? Because we talk about Haiti's poverty. We talk about how Haiti doesn't have the capital. They don't have the actual financial institutes and the actual infrastructure to actually do these type of things. You don't have gun manufacturing companies in Haiti. So how are these people getting these guns? How are the guns being put in the hands of people? Because the majorities of the guns and the weapons that you see that are going into Haiti are not going to the Haitian government. It's not going to the Haitian military or the Haitian police. You see what I'm saying? These are not guns that are being robbed and stolen for the actual supply for the actual Haitian government. So when the Haitian government is purchasing their weapons or purchasing their ammunition, they're not having trouble getting their ammunition and it's going to the actual, for the purpose of the government and the police. But there's another set of this black market, of this underground market of weapons being brought into Haiti. And people act like it's an oblivious thing to society. This is how white supremacy works. This is how they are able to control and dominate other countries, especially black countries like Haiti, because Haiti is always going to be an issue when it comes to, the world politics and the idea of world politics, because you have to exploit and enslave a population to be able to do the things that you do, as to have big business, because it's all about big investment, big business, the type of money that is generated to go to Haiti. So these gang members don't have money for clothes. They don't have money to feed their families. They don't have money to buy fancy cars. They don't have money for none of this stuff, but somehow they have enough money to purchase a whole arsenal of weapons. You see what I'm saying? When you see these type of things, you got to ask yourself who truly benefits from this type of chaos, from this type of problem that exists in Haiti. So they're bringing guns into Haiti for what? What's the purpose of bringing guns into Haiti? For it to end up being in the hands of criminals, if you want to call the gang members in Haiti criminals, right? Why are you bringing guns into Haiti? It's not because you're generating money. It's not like the gang leader and the gangs have money for you. If you're somebody who manufactures weapons, the type of resources and logistics that it takes to smuggle weapons into a country is not cheap. So it's for you to think that Haitian people have the money and beyond the actual willpower and the mental capacity to do this stuff, right? Because we're not talking about, we are talking about people who don't have the ability to just make simple day-to-day life decisions. So you're telling me they're thinking about world grand plans of smuggling guns into Haiti? These are guns that end up in their hands without their control. If you told these same people that have guns to give them food and clothing, they will take the food and clothing. But that shows you how white supremacy works, because they show you the guns in the hands of the black rebels in countries, but they don't show you how those guns get there. They don't show you how these kids are running around with these type of arsenal and these type of weapons. It doesn't come from the same people from that country. It doesn't, even though you had the head of customs supposedly being involved, but the guns are not coming from him because he doesn't manufacture guns. The money, the capital to purchase the gun, to smuggle the gun, does not come from him. He is a part of the operation. He's a part of the person that, one of the people that you pay off to allow yourself to smuggle this. So what is the purpose of bringing guns into Haiti? We all know why, because Haiti is a country that continually fights. It's a country that continually rebels. It is a country that continually sits on the idea and the premise of freedom, independence, truly beyond themselves, no matter what. It is true. It is true to Haitian lifestyle and ideology. It's either we're free or we'll die. It's either, you know what I'm saying? It's either we'll fight or we'll starve. That is that is the motto of the Haitian culture. It's a part of our brilliancy. This is one of the things that people say about us when we come to this country. But I tell people this all the time. Why are immigrants able to come to America and be good, productive citizens, but they can't do it in their own country? Why is it about your own country that you can't vote in a non-corrupt official? Why is every official end up being corrupted? If not, they end up being thrown out. And that's what makes Haiti so revolutionary, because the president of Haiti or the leader of Haiti will always be stuck between a rock and a hard place. Because if he doesn't do what the big interests and the big investment people want to do, they'll get rid of him. And if he doesn't do what the people want, the people will get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? There's only been a select few of Haitian presidents that's actually lived out their administration and their full term as presidents. You know what I'm saying? And if you take Duvaliers' reign, people that say was a tyrannical, despotic ruler. He was basically a dictator. But Haiti has always been a target for big business, and the port that they found all of these ammunitions at was in the north coast of Haiti, in the northern part of Haiti, which was always known for American and businessmen to. That's where they would always bring their stuff into Haiti if it wasn't Port-au-Prince. You know, Port-au-Prince is one of the, I think it's how you say it in Creole. Port-au-Prince is how you say it in English, but that's where it was in Haiti. And there's another port on the other side, on the Dominican Republic side, that's always been a usage for American ships and American businessmen. This is what they do. They basically destabilize your country so that they can actually extract stuff from your country. This is how it works. And they've always done it in Haiti. They do it in all the Caribbeans. All the Caribbeans are all the same. It's nothing different. The difference between Haiti and the rest is Haiti's the only country that doesn't accept tourism. So when you have places like Dominican Republic, which is right on the other side of the island, that's what they accept. They accept being a tourist spot. Sadly so, an actual prostitution destination. Dominican Republic has actually become a place for prostitution. People go to Dominican Republic for sex workers. It's sad. And Haiti's not having that. And it's sad because in Haiti now, sex trafficking for children is a big thing also. And I might have to bring that topic up one day. But this is what goes on in Haiti. This is the Haitian politics. Oh, my thing is going down bad here. This one's not going to work. I'm going to have to find a way to make this work. But that's the politics in Haiti. And that's the things that go on. And when you talk about Haitian politics, and you have to deal with that. Guns are going to be brought in left and right because of influences from outside of Haiti. It has nothing to do with the Haitian populace, the Haitian government. The Haitian government doesn't have enough power to stop these businessmen and these people who could hire mercenaries at a whim. They just can't do it. So we have to figure out a way as a people to understand this is how politics work. It doesn't work the way y'all think it is. It's not as simple as you become a president of a nation and now you can just do whatever you want and you can fix your country. It really, really doesn't work that way. For my IG folks, I'm so sorry. for my IG folks. I was trying to do a new stand for my IG folks so I can get a better lighting and better view. Hopefully I got it fixed now. Sorry for all of that. But again, Haiti is in trouble because, as long as the Clintons are involved in controlling the ports and controlling everything about Haiti, we're never going to have a true independence for Haiti. So, that ties into our next topic, because our next topic is about the Georgia Guidestones, right? And the Georgia Guidestones were basically, it was a tourist attraction. We talk about Haiti not want to be a tourist attraction. The Georgia Guidestones were basically 4 slabs of granite rock that had some inscriptions and some writings on it. And these writings were controversial because, for one, the actual commission of this particular artwork was commissioned by an anonymous individual. They basically went by the name of R.C. Christian. They were basically, I guess, a Christian-based individual, but it's an anonymous. No one knows who put this thing together and why they put it there. It was built in 1980. It's about 100 miles east of Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know the town that it's in, but it was demolished recently because it was vandalized. And the reason it was vandalized is because it is a controversial, very infamous, popular, New World Order symbol, because on these particular tablets, what they write, first off, it's written in 6 different languages. You have it written in English, in Spanish, they have it written in traditional Chinese, Russian, Swahili, and Hebrew. And it's all the same writing, but just in different languages. But it basically talks about the future of the world and how the world should go about, handling the world. But the most controversial line in there is that it talked about lowering the world and keeping the world to 500 million people and no more than that, which basically means, you have to find a way to get the earth to 500 million people. It also talked about, peace and love and unity and coming together and having one government, which is what made the internet, what they call conspiracy theorists, go crazy, because, these different things were things that talked about, eugenics. It talked about, procreating with the right people. So using wise and smart people to have babies instead of just any random individual. It talked about, again, population control. So these were the things, and this is the reason why it became popular in the internet during the internet days, because people were like, yo, who put this here? Why is it here? It's, it's a stone monument, so it's not going to fade away. It's not going to, it's made out of granite, so it's going to last forever. It's going to sit here forever. So it was, for the people who was on the internet, the theorists, the conspiracy theorists, were saying that this is something that was put in by, the Illuminati, and people like Alex Jones and other people took that as a, as a symbol for what they were trying to do for the new world order that was supposed to be coming, with the new government, the one world government, and, exterminating people and annihilating folks. So this became a very popular attraction. People would go see it all the time. It's been vandalized before, but a few weeks ago, it was actually bombed. Somebody put a bomb there and blew it up and actually destroyed one of the tablets. So the way it was built, it had, 4 slabs, but it was actually also a sundial and an astrological calculator or a calendar. It actually was used to, to measure the seasons, the suns, and, the sun path through the sky. And, it was really, really something that was esoteric, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But, it was bombed supposedly by some random vandalizer. And they're still looking and investigating who did that. But because it's unstable now, because of the way they built it, they just demolished the whole thing. And now it's gone. So, I think it was a good topic to bring up, because a lot of people, who are into the conspiracy theories and who's into the stuff, stuff like that, they say, this was a pure sign of what was going to come in the future, right? This was a symbol of the Illuminati and the New World Order. And this is them telling us blatantly they're going to kill over, they're going to kill billions of people, because there's over 7 billion people on Earth now. So to get it to 500 million or less, that's a lot of people that have to die. And that's a lot of people that cannot procreate anymore. If they let's just say people die naturally and people just die off. But that means now you have to regulate who's actually procreating, which they actually put that in the tablet. It was actually stated to procreate wisely and to find the right people to have to cut, to make babies with. So it had its controversy, but it also had its good thing because it talked about peace and harmony and all the races coming together and human beings being, true and loving and caring and all the things that, you would want the earth and humans to have. So now that it's gone, what's going to happen? Nobody knows. Will it be resurrected again? We don't know, because now the person who actually did this is not even what's it called? They're not even alive, I guess. Nobody knows who did this. It was commissioned by an anonymous person. They paid for it and everything. They gave specific instructions, and the company followed suit. They went and found the stones out of South Carolina. They built it. They put it on the land. I don't know who owned the land. I believe the person who owned the land was the same thing. I believe they were a Christian group, though. They registered themselves as a religious group. So it seems like some, left wing, organization that put this together, but it was known as the Georgia Guidestones. And now it's gone, it's demolished, it no longer exists because of fanatics. Basically, people who don't know how to take information and actually use information constructively. We talk about this on my show all the time. It's one thing to know a lot of shit, but if you know something that's not useful and you're not going to do the right thing with it, then what's the point of knowing it? It's really not, it's really dumb. It's really asinine to do that. So now the Guidestones are gone. You don't have evidence of your NWO conspiracy, and now you got to stick to other bullcrap. But that's what went on in Georgia recently. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I don't know if anybody else got a chance to look up that information or get into it. But we got folks here. Thanks again for y'all joining me, as we do, like I said, every Monday night. So, I've been to Georgia before, but I've never been to the Guidestones. Now I'm kind of upset because I was in Georgia and I could have actually seen it, and I didn't get a chance to see it. Now it's gone. So now, but that's the second topic, y'all. So we're gonna move on to the last topic, which is usually a personal topic I like to bring up, where I can be myself, be free, and talk about some things. I want to talk about the Democrats, man, because the Democrats are at it again, bro. These people are serious about race baiting. Like that's their playbook. That is the Democrat playbook. It's been their playbook since the 60s. They have literally taking black people issues and black people emotional reactions to create a push to be elected in office. Like, it's sad. It's like now everything I see on the news, we're back to police brutality, as if police brutality went away or disappeared. Just a year ago, y'all were telling me all this nonsense about Kamala Harris and black woman this and black girl magic. Where are these people at when we really, really need them? What do they do? We're watching black people be slaughtered on the internet left and right, and all they do is come back with the same nonsense. Just last week, we had another shootout where somebody shot up a bunch of people at a parade, and here it is. It's another young white male, all right, who don't have his head right, supposedly, who smokes marijuana and who has psychedelic issues or whatever the hell they wanted to bring up on Fox News. But where are the Democrats at with this? They literally bring up all of this stuff and they use it to get elected, because they bait you into this. Because as soon as we see police brutality, we already know what the conservatives are going to say, what the right is going to say. So now the left understands you're never going to agree with them. So who else are you going to agree with? You're going to agree with somebody who's telling you they're going to do something, but they never do nothing. But they continually show you the things that you want to get done. But they're not going to be the ones to help you get it done. They're actually going to hinder you from getting it done. And black folks have still never understood this game that the Democrats play with y'all. Like, they literally do this with you guys every time. And I'm seeing it on the news. It's gotten so bad that a black Republican senator or congressman in Arizona did a crazy ad for his for his campaign, where he talked about the liberals telling him he can't have his AR-15 and he can't have a 30-round magazine. And he said, and it's not until you have a bunch of crazy liberal Democrat Klansman at your door that you really think that that's when you think it's needed. And he actually had Klanmen and everything, and he was standing there with his gun. I mean, Malcolm X style and everything. He went up to the window with the gun like he was Malcolm X. He captured the whole aura. Black people ran with that. Revolutionaries was like, yo, who is this brother? I forget his name. I think his name is Barry Johnson, if I'm correct. But, that's how much the Democrats play the race baiting games that the Republicans are starting to learn how to actually counter it. They got Candace Owens. She's been doing her thing for a while, exposing them. So now you got more black Republicans and conservatives coming out, showing how the Democrats just are using black people left and right and do nothing for black people, nothing at all. We gave them that power. It's sickening. Yes. Rose said we gave them that power. It is sickening. It really is. But when we think about it, that's what the Democrats do. They race bait all the time. You know what I'm saying? They bring out these, and we know that the media is, we have the right-wing media, the left-wing media. So, with that being said, they know how to put what they need to get put out there. So now we're seeing the stories of black people being shot. The young brother who got shot as an Uber driver. It's a tragic story. 90 rounds emptied at this young man 60 times. They shot this brother 60 times. This young man got shot 60 times. But this, again, this is nothing new. This is Diallo in New York over 20 years ago. This is Sean Bell 20 years ago. Okay, this is nothing new. This is little Bobby Hutton. Okay, this is nothing new. This is Africa movement in Philadelphia in the 80s. This is nothing new, but they continually show you it, and then they use it against us so that we can go out there and elect these officials into office. It don't make no sense. All right, peace. I see everybody showing up. Alan Powell Show. Y'all check out the Alan Powell Show on Tuesday nights on YouTube. That's Alan Powell's. Talks very good sports show and talks about life also. We got Muriel in the house. Peace and love. I see Jasmine was showing up. But yeah, man, the Democrats, man, their playbook is perfect. They understand it. It's like somebody who has like the perfect playbook in Madden, and they have like the same 4 fucking plays, and it's like you can't stop this individual because it's the Madden glitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what the Democrats have against black people. They know exactly what to use against y'all. This guy Joe Biden goes on stage and he's worse. Yo, this guy is worse than Bush. I thought Bush was bad as the president and in speaking. Joe Biden is horrible. This man is horrible. And y'all elected this man as your president. You literally went and sat there and elected it. We had people crying about it. All because of what? Because they race baited you into thinking that. None of these people give a fuck about you. As far as race goes, the Democrats are just as bad as the Republicans. And I'm going to give you an example why. I seen this video just a while back, but there was a video that circulated through the internet showing them asking liberal whites, right, in downtown Manhattan about whether or not voters' ID was unconstitutional or not. And these liberal whites started going in about how it was unconstitutional and racially unfair because black people don't know where to get IDs from. Most black people don't have IDs. Most black people are not capable of finding where to find. They named all these illogical things. All these crazy nonsense about black people not being able to find a way to get an identification card, to get your ID, bro. We're talking about getting your ID, a normal ID. They basically put us to the capacity of children. They thought that we had no intellect to even know how to get our identification card. And they went to black people the same way, and they asked black people about that. And black people was like, well, no, we don't see nothing wrong with that. And they asked them questions about, is it difficult to find your ID? Is it difficult to get an ID? Do you know where to get your ID? And black people were looking at them like, what the fuck are you asking me these dumbass questions for? But the white liberal had no idea. They created a whole narrative about black people's struggle without actually talking and being around black people. So that's what the Democrats do. That's what the liberals do. They don't know. Malcolm X told us about them all the time. They're worse than the conservatives. If you are truly a black person looking for black people to be prosperous and to have something, the liberals are worse. They are worse than the conservatives. At least the conservatives tell you how they feel and what they are about. The liberal will lie to your face and they'll be disingenuous. They'll be completely wrong about everything. And then when you catch them on it, they'll actually be worse in defending themselves than a conservative would at defending their own logic. I'm telling you, it's bad. And black people don't understand that the way the politics works is it's not what side you on, it's what side that can do something for you. We keep telling you it's not about checkers, it's chess. We're playing chess, not checkers. You're never going to be crowned the king for getting on the other side of the board. You have to understand what position you play on this game of chess. So, with that being said, y'all, we're gonna let the night go on and we're gonna move on. Hopefully everybody had a beautiful night and you enjoyed the show. Like I said, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share, hit the ring bell. You could also catch me on IG, which is speaking with Ajani _Bakari, and then you can catch me on Ajani Bakari on Facebook. That's where all my material is available for the show. We'll be back live again next Monday night, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thanks again. Y'all stay beautiful. Y'all stay blessed and stay black. One love.